I've came here to make a couple of points. Though these points are small, you should still take them into consideration. Now, these points are made towards the YouTubers Davis, Cat, Fizzy, John, and Bryan. Though these can be for anyone else, these are mainly directed towards those five people because I see these problems with those five people a lot. Okay, so stop asking Davis for a face review. Simple, right? Stop watching Kat's streams only for Davis. You shouldn't be at her streams because you just want to hear or see Davis. You should be at Kat's streams because you want to be at Kat's streams. Because Kat isn't always going to have Davis there. Davis isn't always going to be there. So enjoy Kat. Yeah, sure, you can enjoy Kat and Davis, but if Davis can't be there, he can't be there. Enjoy Kat while she's there. Impersonating someone is not fun, like, and it's not cool at all. I get that you might admire someone, but impersonating them just is not cool, like, at all. This goes to the person who copied Fizzy. Has some in my throat, but stop fetishizing Bryan and his sexuality. Stop turning Bryan into some sissy little femboy just because he's gay. I swear to God. I'm gonna punch someone if I see it. I'm gonna punch a child if I see them do that again. That is not okay. You should not be turning Bryan into some little sex toy just because of the fact that he's gay. So yeah, he may act feminine, but that doesn't mean he is extremely or explicitly feminine. Do I have a speech impediment? Because I can't talk. But I hate it when people, I know some people probably don't mean harm for it. Like the people who say that, who call Bryan a bride instead of a groom. You know, that's the kind of thing that goes with it. I don't mind that too much. But to make Bryan into this little sissy little boy when they make videos. And this is explicitly for gotcha. When they make him small and they put him in dresses or they put him in little femboy outfits. Or they make him act extremely childish in his series or in their series. And even in his series he tries to act like more of an adult. It just gets on my nerves so badly. Because you're wiping away Bryan's masculinity. You're saying Bryan isn't a guy. Bryan is a grown man. He is 26 years old and has been on YouTube longer than most of his fans have been alive. And yet you guys choose to show your appreciation by turning him, you're completely dismissing his masculinity by doing that. Constantly asking him, "Hey Bryan, who's top? Are you a top or a bottom? What does that matter?" And another thing, don't use somebody's sexuality as an excuse to fetishize them. I'm probably saying that word wrong, but I don't give a shit. If a YouTuber tells their fans that they are unsure of their sexuality, that does not give you the right to go ahead and use their character, whether it be their Minecraft persona or their persona, whatever, or their IRL character. You don't use that in a fan fiction and you ship them with their friends or their mutuals or their coworkers. If someone is confused about their sexuality, you don't go ahead and assume stuff like, oh, probably maybe bi, and then go ahead and write them in a smut fan fiction. That's just absolutely disgusting because they're dismissing that person's privacy for your own freaking hormonal needs, or needs, more like wants, because you keep putting yourself in these fantasies that you know will never happen. Also, stop shipping yourself with YouTubers, especially if you're underaged. I don't give a shit if you put it in an AU or if you try to change it up. That's pedophilia. And it's rape because you, as an underage child, are not legally old enough to give consent. So it's rape. It's pedophilia. It's rape. It's disgusting. Just stop. You can make an OC. You can most certainly make an OC where they're older than you are, maybe 18 or 20 or something, and have them date a YouTuber or a character that a YouTuber plays in your own AU. But you have to be respectful of the person that you're shipping. And don't you dare, for the love of God or whatever the fuck you believe in, don't you dare diminish that person's partner or that person because they don't want to pursue a ship that you ship yourselves. Or if they are already in a relationship and you, don't like straight ships or something. That's disgusting. This happened a lot with Markiplier and Amy and Singe and Jack, where Amy and Singe were getting lashed out on by the fans because, people are like, I don't like Amy. She's using Mark for his money or all that other bullshit. And they only mainly shipped Septiplier. I hope this has only happened about once to, not John, what the frick? To Davis and Kat, where someone was lashing out Kat and Davis had to get involved with it because that was uncalled for. It was unnecessary. But they went out of their way to insult Kat because for whatever reason. But don't ever insult someone like that. Don't ever go out of your way to be an asshole. Don't ever do this kind of stuff because this stuff, the thing is, I know some people will learn from this. Some people will realize that they made a mistake. But if you're being constantly told by these people to stop doing these things, then the thing is, you're not just young. You're not just like, inexperienced. You don't have all that. But no, you just want to be an asshole. And that isn't cool because you're gonna end up doing or saying something that's gonna get you blocked. And if you keep getting blocked, you won't be able to make all that many accounts anymore. Or however it is. Having to go ahead and just making all these accounts just to bother these YouTubers, yeah, that takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. And I know a lot of you don't do that. A lot of you just do that because you're bored. But just don't be an asshole. Don't be a weirdo. This kind of YouTubers don't have complex rules. YouTubers are regular people. The only difference is they just make content that you enjoy and you have a better chance of interacting with them, especially if they're smaller. But just because they're smaller does not give you the right to act like an asshole and think that it'll go unnoticed. Because it will. They will see those comments you make. They will see the videos that you make. They will see the fan fiction that you write. They will see the fan art you make where if it's extremely inappropriate. They'll see those little comments like, OMG, Davis X John is so Madrid, that kind of bullshit. Or, hey, aren't you the guy who plays Rockstar Freddy from the famous films? Or, hey, can you do Molten Freddy's voice? Stop. You do not subscribe to YouTubers like John or Davis or Kat or Fizzy or whoever just for the sheer fact of you want to hear their character. No, you subscribe to their channels because you like the content that they give you and you want to be able to interact with this person, not their character. It's not difficult to be a good person. You just want to act like an asshole. I've said this before, sort of, but it's not the rules they have for these types of things. They're not complicated. They're not at all complicated. You just suck so much ass. You just want to act like a complete asshole to these people because you think that one person doesn't matter just because of whatever reason. Like there was this one guy who was an asshole to Fizzy saying that she wasn't memorable. Frick me, frick. He said that Fizzy wasn't memorable and that he liked John more. But the thing is that he didn't know. Fizzy has been working with John ever since she was like little. And Fizzy is a great friend to Davis, Kat, and John, and everybody she works with. Fizzy is amazing. Fizzy is a whole vibe. She's really chill and an amazing person. And he went out of his way to insult her like that. And guess what happened? He got banned. The rules for these YouTubers are extremely simple. Just don't be an asshole. Don't be an annoyance. And they've talked about things that annoys them or things that they won't tolerate. And people do them still anyways. It's not that difficult to follow rules because the things that they're asking for are basic human rights. They're being just as respectful to their audience, and they expect the same. There's nothing wrong with wanting respect, especially if you give respect back. And that's what they do, but they still get lashed out on, and they still get stepped on like dirt. And I just think that's unfair because I enjoy these YouTubers' content a whole bunch. There's so many things that are wrong with their fandoms. Some bits of their fandoms. Not every fandom sucks, but it's just there's always there's a lot of background noise. I apologize, but it's just Farouk, shut. Just respect YouTubers and their boundaries. These types of things are not difficult to understand. These are the types of things that your mother probably asked of you to do, or your father, your grandma, whatever. They've asked you these types of things. Don't be disrespectful. Treat me with respect, not treat you with respect. Treat others the way you'd want to be treated. These things that these YouTubers ask for are so basic, but there's always that one bit of the fandom that just freaking suck at doing that. And I know some of them are kids, and some of them will learn, but some won't. Some will grow up thinking that all of this stuff that they're doing is okay, and they're gonna end up getting themselves in a lot more trouble than they should be. So, if you end up listening to this, uh, Davis, Kat, Fizzy, John, Bryan, these are who they're mainly directed to because shut those five YouTubers are the ones in which I see this kind of stuff happen the most. Like they get shipped with themselves even though they've talked about they weren't comfortable with that. They get asked questions like top or bottom kind of stuff that they aren't comfortable with. They end up having to read a horrible fan fiction of them and their friends, their co-workers, their mutuals. And oh my god, don't get me started on that rape fic. That was disgusting. It's just stop. If you find yourself doing any of the things that I've mentioned, take a step back from the computer and check your morals. See what you are and aren't comfortable with when it comes to YouTubers. Like, say, would you ask Davis if he could voice a character but don't pay him? Because Kat and Davis said, oh, they said if you guys paid them, they might do a sample of a character. Because, Not everybody wants to be known by just their character. Do you ask Bryan, is he a top or a bottom whenever he's getting shipped with somebody? Do you ship John with his coworkers or his friends or his mutuals or anybody he's come in contact with? Even though he's mentioned that he's not comfortable with that. Do you act like an asshole to the smaller YouTubers like Fizzy or Steel? Or I feel like it happens to Fizzy the most because she's one of the more active ones, like when it comes to like YouTube. And I don't know, but just 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 take a step back, see if you're acting like an asshole, and if you're acting like an asshole, learn from your mistakes. Don't make those mistakes again. Just get better at respecting other people's privacy and such, because sooner or later that kind of stuff is going to end up coming right back at you. And karma sucks ass. It just sucks. Don't be an asshole to YouTubers, because something that I think people forget a lot is the fact that these YouTubers are grown adults, people who have probably finished college or are still going through college or about to go to college. These are adults. These are people, and even if they aren't adults, they sure do act like them. They're extremely mature and they're extremely smart, and they won't take that type of bullshit that you try to give them, because they're not kids. They're not gullible. They're not gonna always like, I don't know, but they're smart. Okay, they're extremely smart. They're extremely reliable. If you act like an asshole, there's good chance you get called out, and you might as well just, you're probably gonna end up getting blocked. So if you ever thought of not showing your face on the channel again, well, that's true. You're blocked. You can't comment on their videos. So just don't be an asshole. This kind of, that last bit was probably cut off because I had to pause the recording because background noise, yes, oh my god, I love background noise. Fucking love it. But just treat these YouTubers with respect. They work hard to get content out for you guys. And just don't act like an asshole to them just because they're small. And if they deny you something that they have every right to deny you of, like a face reveal, Davis, don't act like an asshole about it. Don't be pissy about it. There's nothing to be pissy about. Davis doesn't want to show his face. He doesn't want to show his face. His face is his close friends and his close mutuals' privacy. It's not our privacy unless he wants it to be our privacy. And that goes for any YouTuber. Something of theirs that they don't tell us. The last part got cut off again. But basically, if any YouTuber doesn't want to share something that they have every right to not share, then it's not your job to push them to share that kind of stuff. Because there's a good chance they won't crack. You'll just get blocked before you can even scratch that type of surface. Just don't be an asshole. Don't assume things about YouTubers either. And learn from your mistakes if you've made some of them already. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I keep getting cut off. I would talk more, but this thing is almost past 20 minutes, and there's a crap ton of background noise, and a lot of parts ended up getting cut off because I had to pause the recording that much. But I just felt like I had to say this. This is mainly directed to Davis, Kat, Fizzy, John, Bryan, mainly because, excuse me, because I see this happen with those YouTubers a lot, or it ends up involving those YouTubers a lot. But This can be for any content creator. This can apply to any fandom of any content creator. So just be respectful. Treat these content creators the same way you'd want to be treated. Just be mindful of what you say. Ask questions about if you can say something like this or that. And just don't be a dick. Don't think you can pressure these YouTubers. Don't think you can control these YouTubers. And don't think you own these YouTubers. It doesn't matter if you're a kid. This is basic knowledge. This is basic stuff, basic common sense. Have common sense when you're interacting with any YouTuber, whether they be big or small. Don't make it seem like you're only there for one thing or one thing that they're really known for. And don't call YouTubers by what they play as. Please don't call Davis Moulton or Freddie or Bonnie. Just don't. Just don't. Don't call Cat Baby or whatever other character she might cat play. Don't. Just don't. Just stop.